The following is a short tutorial on how to set up grades, categories, and items inside of the grades tool. So to start, you can go to the grades app icon if you have that selected on your home page, or you can drop down and go to the grades tool. Once inside of the grades tool, you're going to go to manage grades. Once you enter inside of manage grades, you're going to see that there's a blue guiding button. This blue guiding button allows you to create two new things, which are items and categories. So we are going to start with creating a category. Inside of here, you'll be able to set up one of the different categories based on your consistency agreement. So you might be using knowledge and understanding, communication, etc. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to call this term work. Then I can scroll down. I could add a short name if I'd like to do that. If you want to know what that would do and how it would affect it, you can just see inside of here. It just basically gives an abbreviation that displays in the grade book just to save space. Now when we go down here, I can set a weight. So I'm going to set 70 out of 100% of this will go into term work. You can see allow category grade to exceed the category weight. You can select that if you want to or not. But this is where it's important. You have different ways that you can set this up. So in terms of your distribution, you can manually assign weight to items in the category. So each time you get a new item, you can manually set that. Or you can distribute weights by points across all items in the category. So this will, depending on what you set the points as, it will depend on how much that item's worth. So for instance, if you had a quiz that was worth 10 points and you had another quiz that was worth 20 points, that quiz that was worth 20 points would have 2 times the weight of the other quiz. You can also set distribute by weight evenly across all items, and if you do that, you have different options to deal with non-bonus and bonus. For the most part, we suggest distribute weights by points across all items. It will just give you the most flexibility. And there's a couple of other options under student views and shows, but once you're happy with that, you just click save and close. Now, as you can see here, a category is being added. So its category is term work and its weight is 70. So if we want to go in and add another category, we're going to go in here and we're going to add this and we'll say final, and we'll go down and we'll set this weight to 30. We want our categories all to add up to 100. So because I've added term work being 70 and this being 30, I'm going to set this to distribute weights across all items in the category, and I'm going to go in here and save and close. And you can now see that that warning message has disappeared because each of my categories are ones worth 70 and ones worth 30. They both tally up to being 100. Now that our categories are set up properly, we can go over to new and click on new item. Just to note though that inside of each of the assessment tools within D2L, such as the Dropbox, discussions, quizzes, etc., you are able to create grades items within that tool itself. But for the purpose of this, we're going to show you how to create it from here. So we're going to go to new item. Now you're going to get to choose the grade item type. The most common ones are numeric and text. So for instance, if you want to add a numeric, you're going to add like a grade in, like 8 out of 10. But if you're looking to add text, it's more for like formative assessment that you could add actually some anecdotal notes. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to show you numeric. So once inside of here, you're going to give the new item a name. So for instance, I'm going to call this assignment 1 summary. You can also assign it a short name. This is when it shows up in the grades tool. It will be easier to see. So you could call it maybe assignment 1. Inside of here, you're going to be asked to set it to a category. So this is going to be part of the term work. So I'm going to click on there. And then down here, you're going to see that there's what it's going to be graded out of. So what it's going to be marked out of. So say for this, we're going to say that it's going to be out of 20. Remember that the number of points that you select here, it will be almost like they're weighted, because the more points is the greater value within this category. And as we scroll down, you'll see different options. So once we get in here, default grading scheme is percentage. If you would like to add a rubric here, this is where you would add it, and then we can save and close it. So when we go back to the grades tool, you're going to see under term work, the category term work, you're going to see there's the first item, which is assignment 1, and you're going to see that as of now it's out of 20 and its total weight is going to be 100 as of now because there's no other assignments. But now if we go into set another item, so we're going to new item, we're going to select numeric again, and then inside here we're going to give it a name. So we're going to call this one assignment 2 reflection. We'll call the short name A2. We'll select the category, which is going to be term work, 70% of the final grade. And right here, we're going to assign this as out of 10. Now this is half the amount as the first assignment, and we'll see how that plays out on the next screen. We have all the other options we can set, but now we're just going to save and close this. So as you can see, when we come back here, we can see the first assignment. It was out at maximum 20 points, and its now total weight is 66.7. Because this assignment 2 reflection was only out of 10 points, its value with regards to the weight is half of the first assignment. Now when we look at this, we have our term work being our category, and we have assignment 1 and assignment 2, and you can see we can just keep adding. You'll see the type where we're using numeric. Association, we don't really have anything in it, but it's if there's a tool associated with it, so whether it be Dropbox, discussion, quiz, that will fill in there. You see you have your max points and your weights. You also have other options under more actions, so if you're looking to reorder something or if you're looking to delete, this is where it would occur right in here. The final thing I'd like to show you in here is that beside each of the items, there's a drop down, and you can see inside of here you can edit the grade item. So if there's something you want to change about it, you can also enter grades here, statistics, and you can look at the event log. But there are some other options, but we'll be going into those in further tutorials. Thank you for watching this short tutorial on how to set up categories and items within the D2L News tool.